I didn't even see what piece he moved there. Oh well. I haven't slept past noon in years. Today is Wednesday and I have a day off. Why does he get a Wednesday off? That doesn't really make sense to me, but okay. I may have a chance to get closer to Noriko if I... Yes? Aren't you ashamed? You said we go on a date. My bad? You'd better have one hell of an excuse, mister. Well, I just... So? Nothing. I got nothing. Sorry. At least you're honest enough not to make something up to fool me. How about tonight, 7 p.m.? It depends. Where are you taking me? Take a guess. Really? How can a teacher like you afford a dinner at this place? Don't mention it. And I kinda owe you. Susumu, thank you. I'll see you tonight. Noriko's piano lesson starts in an hour, which means I can investigate this case for the next 2 hours. Carry on with the storyline or take a break and investigate? Let's investigate and see if anything new is here. Okay, so I'm splicing this in. The free time investigation, I guess we have 3 visits we can do, so we can hit each one of them. It's going to be like the previous investigation, and if we get it right, we're done. If not, we can use another try to go back, and then you have to go through all the scenes and everything again, so yeah. Not exactly the most, well, the smoothest of things, I guess. So, let's start on the right and work our way left. Dr. Hamacho, do you have a minute? See with the nurse. It's about your wife. Don't tell me she's... No, I'm not here to break you the news of her demise. I'm just a police officer and I have a few questions for you. Anything to help you find her? Tell me about her family. Her parents live up north and her sister lives abroad. Other family members are scattered all around the country. Simple yet decent folks. Tell me about your wife's friends. She had a lot of friends, especially when she quit her job to take care of our home. That's one hell of a career plan if That's one hell of a career plan if one is so inclined to kiss parody goodbye. She has many friends. From tennis to shopping or gossips, she has a lot of friends, for she always managed to create social links in a matter of minutes. Wow, this is kind of awkwardly translated. Now that you mention it, I don't recall her having many friends before we got married, though. Did she work? She used to be my secretary, and after our marriage she resigned. It was obvious she didn't want to go down that career path. 3 years, yep. She decided to become my wife 3 years ago, and chose, or should I say, decided on becoming a housewife. I apologize, but do you guys have a happy marriage? Yes, yes. Just yes. It borders on intimacy. I'm sorry I can't talk about that. Yeah, there's something fishy going on. Did you hear rumors or gossips about missing persons lately? Yes, a friend of mine hangs out with policemen. The idea she could have been abducted. I just can't. To me, she just left me for another. I mean, yes, I heard about the abductions. So, yeah. I have to find his weakness. I probably shouldn't do that in such a sinister tone. So, don't these all technically interlink to one another? Let's hit the marriage button and see what happens. Tell me the truth. Your wedding is not a happy one, right? Is it that obvious? After a few years, it happens to every couple's. Or so I tend to believe. We've been sleeping in different rooms for a few months. On the one hand, I make a lot of money and she can buy anything she wants, but on the other, an absent husband is not what she wants. Do I believe she left me for another man? No, because she would have had the decency of writing a letter at least. As terrible as it may sound, knowing she's been abducted is less painful than picturing her with another man. My patients are expecting me. If you find anything, just let me know. So even though you can't see it, well, I can't see it either. I have to bring up Steam here. So that unlocked the It's Not Lupus achievement. Interrogate, what's his name? Hamacho. And there are a lot of achievements here. I'm just curious on whether there's a success or a fail for different ones. But it looks like it's just a general investigate them. As for a good doctor, the story changes quite a bit if you go down the infidelity route. The cyst is a joke route. Apparently they at least give you a nice musical cue. In case you're wondering, yes, I did try all three of these just to see what happens. I think in the future I'm probably going to say before I make the choice that I can do multiple ones. It's going to be more handy that way since there's no skip feature. Living with a woman who sleeps around must be tough. How dare you? You want the long or the short explanation? She started to cheat on me a few months after our wedding. Apparently, I was not good enough in bed and didn't have it, to satisfy her. She suffers from a serious pathology called nymphomania. I guess that explains why I forgave her. There's more to it. Tell me. She broke up so many marriages. You see, her pleasure is not only sexual, she enjoys destroying relationships. Once their intercourse over, she would call or write to her new partner's wife. Such a sadism hasn't been well documented. Believe me when I tell you, I tried my best to stop her. My patients are expecting me. If you find anything else, just let me know. In case you're wondering, if you call out the husband over here, she just says a bunch of mean things about him. The big one is if you talk about 12 years ago. Anyway, we'll hit up Shimada Fumi. Excuse me, are you Miss Shimada? Yes, what is it? I heard that your daughter has gone missing. Can I ask you a few questions? As a journalist, I'm the one who usually asks questions. For which newspaper are you freelancing for? None. I'm a police officer. Although they've already questioned me, if it helps you find her, go ahead. Tell me about her family. We are a simple family with no skeletons in our closets, if that's what you're implying. My daughter loves her family, and if you're looking for the monster who abducted her, be sure he's not from our bloodline. So that should be setting off red flags, but this one I think is just awkwardly translated. Can you tell me about your daughter's friends? She doesn't have any. Her whole life was about her job, so she didn't have time to mingle and acquaint with people. This saddened me very much, for no one can blossom on his own. This is the dentist's daughter, if you didn't know. Or mother, I mean. Even though they have her listed here as an orthodontist, I think, the translator may not know that there's a difference between those two, or maybe there's only one in the West, I don't know. Tell me about her job. Sayoko has always tried to help others. That's why she wanted to become a doctor. She picked orthodonty and opened her office last year. While it was a pretty rough time for her to be her own boss, she started home visitations for the elderly. Was she seeing anyone? No, last time we discussed relationships was a year ago, after she'd left her boyfriend. Sayoko always ended relationships before they went sour, even when she was a teenager. So basically she gets bored and leaves. I guess you heard about the rumors. Not rumors. Facts, and being amongst those who lost someone is heartbreaking. I lost my appetite and my sleep over this. I'm sorry to hear that. Where do you find the strength to carry on with your job, if you don't mind me asking? I'm a mother. So yeah, that's a little... Not sure on the exact term for that, but unneeded. So, I don't recall anything about vengeance. She said there are no skeletons in the closet. Let's try visitation. You mentioned she did home visitations. Do you think that's how she was kidnapped? It's a possibility, but the police told me that in her agenda, her last appointment had no name nor address. This doesn't surprise me. The kid has a golden heart. Every now and then she provides dental care for patients who can't afford it. So, to avoid any trouble, if she's audited, she doesn't write down anything. Listen, I have an interview in a few minutes. Just call me if you find anything. Goodbye, detective. So she does a lot of pro bono work, apparently. Could it be vengeance? Maybe you're the reason she was abducted. Are you saying I'm in cahoots with the monster who stole my daughter from me? Not really, but who knows? Maybe you wrote an article back then and someone uses your daughter to hurt you. Did it cross your mind? When I was younger, No, it's not possible. Please tell me. Oh ho. 15 years ago, I wrote a couple of articles about rapes involving foster homes and children. You have to understand, they threatened to hurt my family and my daughter. I shouldn't talk about that. Goodbye. So yeah, I think I'm gonna splice that in. I'm gonna go do the other route for the other two so that we're somewhat consistent, but yeah, that thickens the plot. Now Satsuki Satoya. Miss Satoya, I presume. Finally, it's about time. Were you expecting me? Actually, now I kinda wish I went down the vengeance route, but oh well. The compressor's malfunctioning. It's been 3 days since I called maintenance. I'm not from maintenance. There seems to be some sort of confusion. I'm here to ask you a couple of questions about your daughter. I have nothing to say. I've lost 4 hours telling the police all I know. Your daughter is missing, Miss Atoya. 4 hours is not such a big deal. Not such a big deal? I'm on the verge of a major breakthrough which may as well change the scientific world. You think I can spare 4 hours of my precious time? Leave at once. I apologize, but I cannot leave without talking to you. I promise it'll only take a couple of minutes. Well, since the whole world is conspiring against me, sure, let's waste my time. So looking at the background, I can't tell what type of lab this is. Let's just dive in. What about her family? She hasn't said a word to me since she's 12, and her confidant is her father. On a side note, he hasn't said a word to me in 5 years. Want more salt to put on my wounds, or are you satisfied? Your daughter hangs out with other girls. Who are they? How could I know that, since I spent all my time in this lab? Her friends, her problems, not mine. How are her grades? Bad. She's a dunce. She takes that after her dad. The IQ of an oyster and the behavior of an animal. Does she have a boyfriend? Wild guess here. You're here because you want to marry her? What? No, I'm a grown man. I don't date kids. I mean, teenage girls. Even though I'd still consider the teenage girls to be kids, especially the way they act. But don't fear women out there. The teenage boys are just as bad. And oftentimes equally so, I'm afraid. She never mentions it at home, but I think she sleeps around, which would not surprise me. She's the spitting image of her father. Have you heard any rumors about some abductions? No, since I'm all by myself in this lab, it's not surprising, is it? I have to find her weakness. So as fun as the compressor would be, you have to go back 12 years. You have to try to find out what it was that strained the relationship. I think the father would be a legitimate choice, but... here you go. What happened when she was 12? I'll find out sooner or later. Yuriko started to show early signs of disturbing behavior. Pyromania, animal vivisection, lack of empathy. 12 years ago, she tried to kill me while I was asleep. You can't become the best of friends in the world after that, can you? Was she sent to juvie? I didn't press charges. She may be a vermin devoid of any compassion for human beings, but she's my daughter. Some people have a job, so please leave my lab and close the door on your way out. Okay, so with all that out of the way, we are now back on track for the main storyline. I went down the more sinister routes whenever possible, calling out the doctor's wife as being unfaithful, calling the reporter that it's probably linked to a case she covered in the past, and then the scientist that her daughter is a psycho. So, now that that's all up to speed, and we know how we're going to do things in the future, let's get back on track. Back then, with Ari, we used to meet at the local aquarium. We spent most of our time gazing at marine life without saying a word. As a kid, I couldn't buy her more than a can of soda, but now that my career is taking off, our dream is about to become a reality. For most people, dining at the aquarium does not mean much except prestige, but to us. Noriko. Right on time. Her schedule mentioned her piano lesson ended at 5 p.m., and she had some free time until 5:30. Someone kill me right now. Having fun on a Wednesday afternoon? I guess the answer is no. I haven't said that. When one has a piano lesson while their friends are probably playing video games, it's kind of a bummer, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, but it's your mom or your dad who really wants you to achieve what they couldn't. I heard that story before. Want to know the truth? What truth? If your folks want you to play the piano, that's not because they'd have the chance when they were your age. Why then? Because they were too lazy. That's why. You're a weird teacher, you know that? Guilty as charged. Believe me, parents are all the same. Dreaming of becoming a famous musician is easy. Being one is a torturous path towards hell. Just between us, I think there should be a law that forces parents to take a test before they pick their children's clubs. Crud, I can't go back, can I? Can I rewind? There actually is a skip thing here. And then, yeah, I guess it was French first language. Sauve, charge, cache, text, sauter, retour menu. So that line that skipped over was something along the lines of making them sit down and practice piano themselves. If that law had passed years ago, they would have signed me up to an abandoned wine tasting club. My parents are only good at being mediocre. Your dad seems to be one hell of a politician, isn't he? Maybe. What do you usually do after your piano lesson? Listen, you may think I'm in need of a friend, but... Noriko, I have no intention of becoming your pal. I just want to... Pick your words carefully, otherwise you might end up in jail for a very long time. I want to protect you. No one told you, but I'm a police officer posing as a teacher, and my mission is to make sure no one ever kidnaps you, especially that abductor preying on young girls. Out of all the teachers I had, you ranked #1 on the moron scale. True, but at least I'm not ashamed of that. Actually, I might put that scale ranking on my resume. Anyway, have a good afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow. Wait. Yes? Would you buy me an iced tea? kids are always moochers, you know? And don't tell me he's gonna miss his date because he's with Noriko. That's kind of messed up. And I remember that CSI episode when that cop posed as a teacher. That's all there is to it. I see. That's too bad. How come? To have a police officer protect me from a kidnapper would have made my life more interesting. Sorry to deceive you, but I'm just your run-of-the-mill teacher. You do have your friends if you need protection, though. Yeah, in a way. But nothing. I don't see how you could find that interesting. Oh, I know why. Because you're my teacher, yada yada. Don't you have friends in your age range? Not really, besides a few online ones. Actually, I do have one friend. A dear friend that you happen to know. Virtual? Nope, flesh and bones. You'll never guess who it is. If you're into MMA and BDSM, I'd go with Tama. If you like to be bored to death, I'd say Miss Okita. If you like old hags who smell like booze, I'd go with my mother. If you want to be successful, my dad. So who is it? That kid is a wreck. It's Ari Sudo. The bitch? What did you say? Sorry, it just came out. You may not like her, but that's one thing, but calling her a bitch is another, and I won't tolerate that. I said I'm sorry, I kinda like her as a teacher. Then why calling her names then? It's just a rumor that spread in another high school. Every student refers to her as the, you know. I cannot believe for the life of me that Ari has such a bad reputation. She must be miserable. Since the start of the year, we've tried to be nice to her. Tama makes sure we do since she hates bullies. But you have to understand that it's not easy for us to not comment on her with all that's being written on social networks. There's not a day without a dirty joke or a sick Photoshop picture posted to make fun of her. I apologize for what I said, I mean it. My driver should be here any minute now. Thanks for the iced tea, sir. Well, hello, empathy. I really missed you. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. Stuck between a drunken and absent father, she's doing pretty well. It's just a sad kid who will learn to trust herself when she's far away from home. I can't stop thinking about what she said about Ari. I should not bring that up during dinner. There it is, our favorite spot where we spend countless hours staring at the beauties Mother Nature graced us with. I really hope she's going to be thrilled. Susumu. Right on time, as usual. You have to tell me how you managed to get a reservation. People have to wait for months to get a table. Please tell me how you did it. I told Tama that the maitre d' was a perv. Simple as that. Oh, I see. No surprise then. Just kidding. I got lucky. Real lucky. When 3 cops show up, it makes it easier to consider canceling your reservation. Shall we? You bet. So I wonder, do you actually get to pick which fish you're going to eat out of the tank, or how's that work? Have you ever been here? I mean, since I left. Yes, I come here several times every month. It may sound stupid, but I needed to stay balanced. This is one of the things I miss most when I left. No other city has an aquarium like this one. Remember when we were playing Gate Crashers with Haruko and Renji? I do. We only had enough money for 3 tickets. And a brain for 4. Yes, these are memories I cherish fondly. What about the old gang? Any news? No, I think they all left town just like you. Look, they put new stores. Back then, besides books and souvenirs, there was nothing else. It's amazing how they transformed this place into an aquarium/mall. An aqua mall. Let's take a look at what's on sale. It's a lingerie boutique, Susumu. Ah, Excuse me? No, I mean, we'll go shopping another time. Come on, let's go and eat. I'm starving. We have to get dinner at our favorite spot for the first time of our lives. Our dream finally comes true. No. What do you mean, no? You think you can get away with it by buying me a soda? No, I mean, I booked a reservation somewhere else. Huh? Hold on. Don't tell me you have a reservation in the other room. Follow me. Hats off to those who renovated this room. It's beyond anything I had imagined. They shut down the aquarium for a couple of months, but it was so worth it. 40 basins, 3,000 specimens of fish, and over 100 families of invertebrates. They even have a coral farm. A coral farm! Do you realize how awesome that is? She should quit teaching and become a tour guide. No one is more passionate about this place than Ari. Maybe the chief can pull some strings on my behalf and make it happen. Who knows? I do realize that. I guess I know where I'll go on Sunday. As long as you invite me over, if I see you with another girl, I'll use her as shark bait. Note to self, don't bring Noriko here. But Tama can defend herself, so she is on the level. Word. Susumu. I'm speechless. This is the best present. Thank you. Almost there. What? We're almost there. This way, please. No, I want to stay right here. Look at my feet, not moving. Trust me, it is worth it. This is the first time I've been in this room. What a magnificent atmosphere. Only those with a reservation are allowed past this point, so they can take the escalator. Such a marine diversity is mesmerizing. I see sharks. That's enough to scare me. Even a megalodon cannot break this window. You're safe. A mega what? A megalodon. A Cenozoic fish that can reach a maximum size of 28 meters. I almost forgot your perfect knowledge of sharks. And rays. They're part of the same family. I always hated pronouncing this one. The Chondrichthyans, or something like that? Chondrichthyan? No. Did you know that? Basically, this is the cartilaginous fish. No. But thanks to you, now I do. I can't wait to use it in a sentence. Save it for your special on Comedy Central. Your irony hasn't changed, Susumu. I kind of like how they capitalize Comedy Central, but not the days of the week. I may not be as knowledgeable about marine life, but just like you, I like fists. Okay, I want to say that's supposed to be fish, but that is kind of funny in terms of typos. What? Man. Okay, maybe he did mean that. Fishes. I like fishes. Oh, I thought I heard something else. Sorry. Damn, that was intentional. Now it's not as funny. We're almost there. Let's go. Are you hungry? I sure hope so, for I am starving. Agreed. My tummy is growling. Get your shark sushi ready. You'll pay for this, Susumu. I'm really sorry about that sushi joke. Oops. Oh. So, what do you think? Ari? Yes, sorry. I drifted off. Susumu, I cannot believe the two of us will have dinner in this restaurant. You deserve it. After all, we haven't seen each other for 10 years. Celebrating our reunion has to be special. That place has to be extremely cold. Susumu, I can't thank you enough. I'll do anything for you, anything. Just ask. Bonsoir. Okay, if this was actually French first language, I kind of think they'd spell bienvenue correctly. Bonsoir and bienvenue in our 5-star restaurant. Good evening and welcome. I made a reservation under the name of Tokunaga. If vous willing to follow moi, you, me. That French accent, it's fake, right? Oui, but customers like it. I'll be back shortly avec the menus. Yes, with. Thank you. Are you out of your mind, Susumu? This place is not for the likes of us. Sure it is. We deserve to be here since we teach and lead the future of this country. We deserve to be here as pillars of the community. Susumu. Tokunaga speaking. Sorry to interrupt your childhood friend reunion / date thingy, but we need to see you immediately. And they misspelled immediately. One sec. Nothing serious, I hope. I'll be right back. Did something happen to Noriko? No, she's at home safe and sound. Then what is it? We have a lead regarding a missing person, Eriko Satoya. The psycho, basically, if you don't recognize the name. I'm really sorry, but I can't come over for the time being. Give me 1-2 hours tops. I guess she won't mind at all since she's dead. What? We are not dealing with a kidnapper. He's a killer, too. I can't. Just an hour then and I'll... Don't bother. Enjoy your dinner. You won't be able to enjoy another one for a while now that we know 19 people might die soon. I just wanted to give you a heads up. One of the missing persons dead? Susumu, are you okay? What? No, I mean, yes, it's just a work-related emergency. Oh my, did a student forget to write down his homework? Didn't you erase the blackboard? Very funny. I ordered some textbooks yesterday and they forgot to write down the address, that's all. Let's go and enjoy our evening together. Looks like we've been sitting at that table for hours, and the only thing on my mind is that morbid case. Where did they find the body? In what condition? No calls from the chief. Maybe he doesn't know yet. If it weren't for that stupid dinner, I could have been the first on the crime scene. Maybe I would have found that one clue to crack the case. I should have been there. Really? I should have. In the lingerie boutique? Really? What boutique? I knew you were not paying attention. I was telling you how tasteless it was to have a lingerie boutique in an aquarium. Although it might be convenient for some women, they can claim the smell comes from the fish. God, that is such a sick joke. Uemura would be proud of her. That's a good one. Like my mother used to say, talk about genitals, you'll get their attention. Now that I have yours, tell me about you. You know, there's not much to say about me. Not much? Don't you dare try and hide things from your best friend. 10 years I haven't seen you, so speak now or else. I kind of liked how she looks so psycho in this panel here. I will, just calm down. Like you heard, I left her hometown after I received my degree, then a few weeks later I know, I attended their funeral. The house was sold and the money used to travel to Europe where I taught for a couple of years. Paris, Milan, Madrid, every city offered me some new perspectives as a teacher. Then I came back to Japan and decided to be a substitute teacher, for the mere idea of staying in one place for the rest of my career was unbearable. Skip to the important part, every minute counts. Tell me, why don't you hang out with the other teachers? To be honest, I don't like their company. They are your colleagues. It's important to have good relationships at work, don't you think? Been there, done that. I did try, but after a few days it came to me as a necessity to avoid them at all costs. Did something happen? Kanon likes to gloat about how smart she is and how stupid I am while Uemura tries to get into my pants. It comes as a shock to me. The headmaster thinks I'm his private secretary. Oh well, that's just the way it is, and I don't mind not mingling. I've never been the social type, as you can recall. I could talk to them if you'd like. Don't. It may seem weird, but I like things the way they are. If their behaviors change out of nowhere, it might disturb me. Please, let's talk about something else, shall we? Sure. How's your brother? Eisuke. I remember when we spent countless hours playing chess, checkers, and mahjong. Did he become a pro? So you don't know. Know what? Eisuke died in a car accident a few months after you left. Eisuke, my friend. I can't believe it. He was the most fierce adversary I'd ever played with. Irie, I'm so sorry. I'd given my address and phone number to my parents. Don't worry. I decided not to tell you. For the life of me, I couldn't bear to entice you into coming back. Because I know you, and I'm sure you'd have stayed with me. You know me well. Which means you went to move to Europe, and you would have become just a regular teacher without any experience. We would have had a baby, and we'd be married. You know, travels are no... What baby? You haven't changed a bit, Ari. You were always the one cheering me up. We're friends. Isn't that what friends are for? Yes. You know, I'm glad they sent me back here because I got a chance to see you again. I'm glad we could be together, Susumu. For a while, I'd forgotten about my mission. For a while, the word friendship meant something again. For a moment, I just wanted to hug her. I'll be back in a sec. Tokunaga, what are you doing in the restaurant's restroom? Technically, it's the hall that leads to the restroom, and don't assume I'm delighted to be here. Couldn't you call? Sadly, the whole network is saturated after what happened. Apparently you didn't hear. It's about Eriko Satoya, I heard. I see they managed to call you before the communication blackout. What's the link between the blackout and Eriko? Everyone and their mothers are trying to call friends, sons, daughters, you name it. Can't blame them for trying to know if their loved ones are safe. All of this because of her death. Not her death, but the staging. Look for yourself. I managed to save the webpage before the network went bananas. Ah man, I was trying to read the comments. As twisted as that may sound, I didn't even actually look at the body, I'm afraid. I was kind of curious if the comments would be realistic, fake, staged, yada yada yada, unsubbed, so on. My god. That video was posted an hour ago on a video sharing website. After 10 minutes, more than 900,000 people had seen it. Cut short your candle at dinner. You're in for an all-nighter. Gotcha. I'll meet you at the PlayStation. I'll see you there. Ari, I'm not feeling too well. Something you ate? Maybe. Listen, I think I should get back home. Rain check? Ari? Something smells fishy here. No pun intended before you say anything. I bet it's another girl. No, not at all. If it's not another girl, then it can only be that fat man who went to the restaurant with you. You're gay? What? No! I swear it's my stomach, nothing else. In that case, you owe me another dinner. You promise? I promise you. Just not here. This way. My car is parked near the entrance. Susumu? Yes, what is it? Thank you for the evening. It's as if you'd only left yesterday. I missed you so much. After after an hour the video was taken down, although it was way too late. What do you mean too late? It has been reposted to hundreds of websites. Most of the websites are abroad, hence we cannot do anything. Useless and counterproductive. It will only encourage them to post it all around. What else did you find? Do you have the IP address of the guy who sent the original video? Not a guy, it's a girl. What? The culprit is the victim's smartphone, which is used to send the video. We sent a requisition to the operator so the IP would be traced and... Such a cute law-abiding method, but we hacked their system to track down the signal. Where is it? Everywhere. What do you mean? From what we could gather, the system used to send the video is not that user-friendly. It's kind of the opposite. Are you saying we are dealing with an expert in computer security? All I'm saying is the one who coded the software is an expert. It doesn't mean that the one using it is the very same person. Ever heard of peer-to-peer? Basically P2P? Sure. We managed to catch those using this kind of software, right? True, but this software has been modified to make the sender completely anonymous. Not even the NSA could track him down. And we have Edward Snowden to vouch for that. The video file has been cut into 12,000 packets, each sent on a computer or smartphone by a malware. Then, here comes the magic. Each device sent the file to Satoya's smartphone, which then sent the file to the website. Looks like the killer's planned his move months, maybe years ago. Where did the signal come from? An abandoned factory on the outskirts of the city. Chief. Do your thing, Tokunaga. Whoa. Looks like a surveillance room. Given the state of the monitors, it seems impossible to watch anything that happened here. So how does this work? Yeah, you can see the dot, that's my cursor, but it looks like there's only a certain... Okay, let me click on this. I don't know. This is an awkward system. I doubt I'll find a clue in all this mess. So do I only have 3 pictures, or how does this work? The generator is on. Given the thickness of the dust, I wonder for how long it's been abandoned. So I'm just trying to click on the things of interest to see if there's a limited number of pictures we can take, and I guess not. Choose the 3 clues that seem important, then click on Continue to send them to the lab. The victim's smartphone. That doesn't seem important. So these are probably the 3 that are there. The coffee mug, it says it's been here since the dawn of time. That means it wasn't used recently, we can kind of ignore it. Oil slick is months old, we can kind of ignore that one too, I want to say. Thing is, the crowbar I'm kind of tempted because it could be used to maybe get some fingerprints or something. But we have the blood stain, which is pretty important, even though odds are it's going to belong to the victim. I really don't know what you can get off the smartphone, but maybe there's something, I don't know. And then the CCTV, that might be what was used to kill her. We might be able to get something out the back door is what I'm thinking. Those clues will be very helpful. We'll run some tests. Maybe we'll find something. Until then, be patient. It's going to take a while. Let's sum it up. We have 19 missing persons, 1 dead, a killer who uses high-end technology to remain invisible, a city on the verge of hysteria, and the mayor's daughter to protect. Pretty much. Only the figures are wrong. Wrong? Explain yourself. You forgot to take into consideration the ones whose disappearances haven't been notified to the police. It's possible and probable that no one noticed Jane or John Doe who went missing. Good lord. Keep it up, Tokunaga. Here's the key of the victim's apartment. Her parents had rented her a one-bedroom next to the high school, since she lived far away from the city. You can go, Tokunaga. So I have to do more of this stupid camera shutterbug crap. Her bedroom. Poor kid. Yep. That's 2. The terrace. Maybe the killer left a clue. And we'll ignore this bloodstain. Or not. Syringe. So it could be for her own personal heroin use, we don't really know. Water stain. Bucket of water looks rusty. We'll go through her mail. And let's see. This is the hard part because her mother didn't know who she hung out with. If you remember, her line when we talked to her mother was, her friends, her problems, I'm here, or something like that. So this could tell us where to go next. But the thing is, the beverage could also have a clue in it, such as some sort of sedative or something that put her asleep. It's really a coin toss between these two. Then again, I guess we can use the box for the friends, so we'll go beverage. Not bad at all. You're one hell of a police officer. We'll analyze everything tonight, but it seems to me that the victim has been abducted from her place. How about those clues you found in the warehouse? The smartphone only had an encrypted software and video file. Everything else had been deleted. We managed to salvage unrelated things like pictures, lessons, coupons, the works. Your typical student's phone. Did you find any fingerprints? Yes, they belong to a hooker, Hirose Tae, and to Shige Yaichiro, a criminal. So, Tae was the 18-year-old hooker, and Yaichiro was the 50-something-year-old Yakuza/mafioso, whatever you want to call him. Why did you say that in the first place? Because you'll be wasting your time with these two. Hold on a second. We found fingerprints of 2 suspicious persons on the smartphone of a girl who's been murdered, and you think I'm wasting my time? A Yakuza with the IQ of a bear and a hooker who left school at 15 cannot be responsible for a sophisticated plan. Still, it's worth finding and interrogating them. Want to waste your time? Be my guest. It's a decoy, a big one. Maybe, but I'll take my chances. Tokunaga, make it your #1 priority. Yes, sir. You'll find the files of the culprits on your computer. Enjoy. I thought those ones on my computer were the missing people, not the culprits. Let's see. So right here is Yaichiro Shige. If you don't remember him, that's what he looked like. And then Tai is right here. Owner of a massage parlor. Born in 61 in Nagoya. No crimes, no one ever filed a complaint. He is just a suspect in over 100 cases since 1984. Hidongumi as a shate, I have no idea what that is. Then as a kyodai. And then a shate gashira. Occupation, prostitute, date of birth, 2000. So this is actually set in the future, apparently. A couple of years. Mother died in 2014. Booked for solicitation February, March, June of 2014. Then March and December of 2015. Prostitution itself in August of 2014, January of 2016. PI, that's a fun one. November 2014, February 2015, and June 2015. And then larceny in June. So she's got a bit of a record. Escape. 7:12 and 33:29. So they're playing Go or something like that. 2024. Not bad. That's Melinone's move. That's wise. Duh, what did you expect? You started with the Rosenberg opening. And now Escape. We're right in the middle of our game, Ari. We have to get home. It's 3 p.m. already. Okay, rain checks Susumu. Sure, see you tomorrow. Goodbye, Susumu. If only I'd been here, maybe I could have done something. I'll give everything I own to play one last game with you, my friend. Our last game. If only